Lauren is a pretty virgin girl who's super drunk at a party. She pettily narrates how she lost her virginity to some random townie at the party. At first, her story checks out as a one-night stand regret, but as the movie progresses, something else actually happened to her. Lauren wants to be with Victor, a hot film major who recently traveled to Europe. Lauren is so attracted to Victor, but she can't make a move because he is still hung up with his ex-girlfriend Lara. She proceeds to expose Lara's past and tell the viewers how she gave Victor a mono before she got dumped. Lara also made out with the whole football team one night when she was drunk. Now she's happily married to a senator and is living her life to the fullest. Great for Lara, but not for Lauren. She sulks as she sits on that dirty couch. She later meets an NYU student who isn't even Victor toenail level, but is okay considering her limited options. The NYU guy talks about Tarantino films and Russian plots, which Lauren drunkenly agrees with. Lauren believes that if she can't get Victor, at least an NYU student would be decent enough. But this guy is not even interested in her. Rather, his eyes are glued to Kristen Notneff, a random girl at the party who wears a matching black bra and black lace panty. Lauren isn't wearing any nice lingerie underneath, just some bacon garters and an onion scent bra. Despite all the red flags, Lauren agrees to come with the NYU guy. Before she could even undress, she falls into a deep slumber only to find out that she is being banged by someone else. A random curly townie who vomits on her face as he humps like a wild animal. Ew! Can you imagine the smell of drunkards puke on your face? Yikes! The NYU guy is there recording all the nasty fiasco like some cybercriminal in a foreign country. Lauren is too wasted to even move and fight. She just continues to sulk and resent her wrong decisions in life. She lost her womanhood in the most unfortunate way possible. While Lauren is having the worst day of her life, Paul talks about some existential stuff that no one wants to listen to. But since he's Ian Somerhalder, we are required to. Facial hair makes a lot of difference, don't you think? Anyway, as Paul rants about his random thoughts, Sean enters the room. Suddenly, the vibe becomes nostalgic and we remember Dawson's Creek. But that's for another recap. It seems like Paul has a crush on Sean. Sean, on the other hand, is in love with Lauren. Or at least not yet because he seems to be preoccupied with Kelly. Paul dismisses his erotic fantasies and asks for some E. He goes up with his blonde friend and starts to get high on E. Paul caresses the blonde's tummy and goes out to kiss him. The blonde guy instantly sobers up and punches Paul. He goes on to tell Paul that he's not gay and spits on his face. Paul lights a cigarette to relieve the tension and embarrassment, as well as to dissipate the scent of the bubbly saliva. Sean casually sees Lauren go up with the NYU guy, not knowing that Lauren is in great danger. He believes that he's some sort of vampire. Come on, Sean. Vampires? He goes up to Kelly and flirts with her. He knows that he has already made love with Kelly on one wet Wednesday, but she doesn't seem to remember. Sean thinks of the alternate scenarios that he can do that night. He can go back to his room and play with himself, go play with the other guys at the party, or invite Kelly to a diner and ditch her the bill. There are countless possibilities as to what might happen that night, but he chooses to bring her to his room and make love with her. But the erotic dream isn't all dazzle and spice. Sean notices that Kelly doesn't get wet even after playing with her bajingo. Even when she moans like a pea star, she's not biologically tasty. Sean loses his hard tower but still tries to enter her. And the great realization hits him. He can't remember the last time he made love sober. And that's just the introduction scene of the movie. The film goes back to the days prior to the eventful party. Everything seems college normal except Lauren's professor who blatantly ditched his class because his wife left him. Paul does his yoga like he's some naked spirit animal. Sean goes on his day and receives a fan mail filled with glitters. It seems like he has an admirer who has the total hots for him. Sean goes to meet his friends and is welcomed by a nasty judo move. Sean is a dealer and he is walking on dangerous grounds. The sweaty user accuses Sean of stealing his money. He demands that if Sean doesn't give the money back, he would need to sell it. Sean tells him that there's going to be an orgy coming up and rich college girls would be there to buy some illicit drugs. The unstable and sweaty guy in mesh shirt points a gun at Sean and tells him to pay back his money. The guy with the gun believes that Sean is rich, but Sean dismisses it by saying that he's actually from a farm in Nebraska and that his father sold their precious cow to get to Camden. The sweaty man reconsiders and agrees with Sean. Sean is off to sell the sweaty man's meds for a 50% markup price. Sean goes to his friend's place to retrieve some money, only to find out that he is high while watching P. Their conversation didn't end well. That night, a huge bonfire event is happening. Paul is ready to mingle and tries to scout for potential matches. He dances awkwardly and tries to flirt with other men, but he gets rejected when a pretty blonde girl arrives to caress his man. Imagine a gay's wrath when pretty girls steal their prey. Yikes! But that's okay because Paul then bumps into Sean. Alas, fate has intertwined their paths. While Sean is getting angsty wishing for a case of beer, Paul mishears it for quesadilla. Weird ears and rhyming skills, but it kind of worked since Sean agreed to have a bromance date in some Mexican diner. Sean and Lauren meet in the hallway as they both attend the postmodern class. No one knows what this class is all about, but hey, it sounds cool enough. The two get to know each other and they seem to enjoy each other's company. Lauren used to date Paul. Can you believe that? Sean now gets the impression that Lauren is his secret admirer. While Paul is happily trying out some outfits, his other gay friend arrives and brings him the bad news. It seems like their other friend tried to kill himself and Paul is being demanded to visit. Paul dismisses the news and sees it as an obstacle to his date with Sean. Paul tells his friends that freshmen don't OD. They bring their unconscious friend to the ER and a weird doctor tells them that their friend is dead even though he is obviously still breathing. Sean later finds out that Lauren looks at a book on sexual diseases to discourage her from losing her virginity at parties. Sean admires Lauren and develops feelings for her. Sean had sex with Lauren's roommate Lara during the dressed to get screwed party while Paul is seeing his friend Dick. Sean immediately regrets it and realizes he is in love with Lauren. It is then revealed that Sean's love letters were written by another, unidentified cafeteria girl. After watching him leave the party with Lara, she sends him a note before slashing her wrists in the dorm bathtub. Lauren, upon discovering Sean with Lara, flees to the girl's bathroom and sobs, only to discover the unknown girl's body, leaving Lauren distraught. She tries to save the dead girl by pulling her out of the tub, but the girl's body is already dead, heavy and slippery. She can only cry in despair and fear. Sean, still believing Lauren penned the purple letters, misinterprets the note from the unknown girl and concludes Lauren will never want to be with him. Sean doesn't seem to move on from the purple letters and lets them guide his decisions. Lauren resolves to lose her virginity to Lance Lawson, her art history professor. However, because he is married and concerned about losing his position, he simply enables her to perform some mighty blows on him instead. Maybe the ginger professor passed the book of diseases. That's why Lauren chose him. Sean fakes his death after multiple failed attempts. He tries to hang himself, slash his wrists, and even OD on some pills. But everything is a failure. He won't die. Unaware that Lauren had recently discovered a corpse, he unwittingly disturbs her when she discovers him pretending to be dead. Sean tries to contact Lauren again after stealing drugs from the sweaty dealer Rupert. Lauren abandons Sean and tells him he will never know her. When she confronts Victor, who has finally returned to Camden College, she discovers that Victor is having sex with Lara and has forgotten who Lauren is, leaving her devastated. Lara seems to be a supportive friend at the beginning, but snakes will always be snakes no matter how much makeup they wear. Lara acts as if she hasn't done anything wrong to her roommate. Lara seems to be mating with all the boys in school. It would be no surprise if she acquires something along the way, but hey, her future self is in a good place with her senator husband. When Paul finds an intoxicated Sean, he tries to talk to him, repeating Sean's remarks by claiming he just wants to know him. Sean dismisses him coldly, citing Lauren's remarks to suggest that Paul will never know him. Paul hurls a snowball at Sean before fleeing in tears, a typical gay reaction, as Paul would have said if it is someone else. Sean searches in vain for his college mailbox, only to discover that the love notes had ceased. He is subsequently cornered and viciously assaulted by Rupert and his Jamaican partner Guest. The plot then returns to the beginning with the three characters attending the end of the world party. Sean eventually realizes he cannot be with Lauren after seeing her heading upstairs with the film student, and tears up the purple notes he believes are from her. It is then revealed that, instead of having sex with the blonde female as he does in the beginning, Sean has an epiphany, reconsiders, and instead leaves his drink and exits. Paul and Lauren gather on the front porch to discuss the recent events as well as Sean, whom they see leave on his motorcycle. Paul tells Lauren that Sean likes her, but Lauren dismisses it as she is still shocked by the recent vomit series upstairs. Paul asks Lauren if she is the one putting love notes in Sean's locker, to which she denies. Sean continues describing his final thoughts, only to have them cut short when the film goes to the closing credits.